everybody, it's KayBeast, and for this week's art video I am going to show you my supplies for Inktober. I am doing Inktober this year. It's going to be my 5th year doing it. Last year I didn't finish Inktober, and I'm hoping to be able to finish it this year, which might be difficult. I do have a part-time job now, so I have less time to work on things, and I'm still doing weekly art videos, but I'm not going to be recording all of my Inktober pieces for YouTube this year. Obviously, because I won't really have time. I might record one for the end of the month. I haven't decided yet. It's either going to be an Inktober piece or a gift piece for a friend. I guess it's going to depend on timing. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so since I'm working this year, while also doing Inktober and YouTube, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to have to take my Inktober stuff to work with me and work on them during like my breaks and my lunches at work. So with that thought in mind, my goal with assembling my kit for Inktober was portability. I need art supplies that travel well. So, and I like to do ink wash too, which you guys already know. So I had to get creative. But I think I have a kit together that'll work really well. It should do what I need it to, and I'm pretty excited about what I'm going to do this year. I'm doing a Witchtober prompt, by the way. I'll post a link in the description below to the Tumblr that started the 31 Witches prompts back in 2016. That's the list that I started last year. I'm a year behind with those. I didn't finish it, but I decided I wanted to attempt Witchtober again. I took the 2017 list, and then I got rid of some that I knew wouldn't excite me and put in others from both the 2016 and the 2018 lists that I liked. So I'm hoping that, you know, this whole prompt list is exciting enough to keep me focused, because that was also kind of the problem with last year, is I started to not really feel some of the prompts, and then I just kind of lost motivation. So with everything else on top of what I'm doing along with Inktober, I'm hoping that this list will keep me in the mood enough to finish it. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'm not, obviously, since Inktober stuff is not going to come to YouTube, unless for the last one. If you want to see my Inktober stuff this year, Instagram and Twitter are the two places that I post most frequently, but I'm going to try to post to my DeviantArt and my Tumblr as well. We'll see how that goes, but Instagram and Twitter for sure. So yeah, I guess let's get into the supplies then. So for paper, I am using the Canson XL Mixed Media Sketchbook, 7 by 10 inches. They make them bigger, but this is a pretty good portable size. I do like this size. I've used these sketchbooks many times. If you see my sketchbook tours, you already know that, because these used to be just my drawing sketchbooks for a while too. So yeah, since I like to work in ink wash, I definitely need a paper that can handle that, but my ink wash tends to be less heavy-handed than my watercolor anyway, so I didn't need actual watercolor paper. It's got 60 sheets, way more than I need, so if I screw up, I've got plenty of scrap. The sheets are perforated, so if I want to take it out for any reason to scan it and put it back in, I can do that too. Overall, it's just a very versatile sketchbook, and I've used it for every Inktober I've done except for the first one, which I used Bristol board. So yeah, I know this will work for me. So for the actual inking supplies, I have them all in this Lit Hit Lab case. You've probably seen this in Jacqueline DeLeon's Inktober video. That's where I decided to get it, because I was like, ooh, that looks really good, and it's also my favorite color, so I had to, right? So I have managed to fit everything in here that I'm going to use. So let's open it up. I love how it just lays flat like this. It's great. So I have my main inking and sketching tools here. I'm just going to use a basic Bic, you know, number 2 pencil. It's HB lead, 0.5 milliliter mechanical pencil. I have a billion of these. I bought a pack of like 30 of these when I was in college. I still have most of them. So I do sketch with this lead the most. I like working with it, and it's easy and it's cheap. So I have these 2 stick erasers. I have this one, which is a Stedler. I got this at like Walmart. And I got this one at Jet Pens. I can't remember. There we go. Tombow Mono Zero, because I needed this one for fixing up fine detail. But these are not my only erasers. I also have 2 in this pocket up here. I have a kneaded eraser and then just a regular white eraser for big areas. And then I like to use a kneaded eraser to lighten up my drawing before I ink over it. So yeah, these things are super handy. It's just they sometimes get dirty, but this little pocket up here is real nice, so I use that. And then for inking tools, what I'm mostly going to be using is brush pens, obviously. So my Pentel Pocket brush pen is my go-to. It's my favorite one. You know, I started using this, really getting into this when I went during my first Inktober. It's just my go-to inking tool for everything. I love this thing so much. So definitely going to be using a lot of that. I also have these 2 Fude brush pens. One's Zebra, one's Tombow. I can't remember the exact version that I got. I know this comes in a soft and a fine point, or a hard point felt tip, I think. But I will link in the description below everything that I got. It's just I've had these for a few years and I can't read the labels, so I can't remember which one it was. But I do like using these. They're very nice brush pens and they're firmer than the Pentel, so if I really want to make sure the details are good, these work. I also have the Prismacolor brush pen. I've used this particular kind of brush pen since high school because I like to use it for inking in hair. It's got a very soft felt tip and I'm able to get a really nice feathering technique when I flick the brush pen, when I flick the nib. And I really like the way I've used that technique to fill in hair since I've been drawing manga style since high school, basically. So no, I'm probably going to want to use that. So this is my go-to for doing that. And then I have a full set of the Copic SB multi-liners. I have microns as well, but I tend to like these better. The ink looks darker to me, and I just like using these more, but both are good. I just needed some really fine point multi-liners to get fine detail because the brush pens can be kind of hard to control and they can be a little unpredictable. So if I want to do really fine detail, or if I want to do stippling or hatching, I like using multi-liners for that. I also have my Uniball Signal white gel pen for highlights. This is my favorite white gel pen to use, so that's that. And then the pocket, I have everything else. You guys know me, I like to do ink wash, so I had to figure out a way to do that and still make it portable. So about 2 months ago I bought a whole bunch of these Pentel Aquash like water brushes. I had a few before, but then I just got more. And what I did is I used India ink in these. This was before I did my big ink review, by the way, so I only had the one kind of ink. And I just mixed different levels of water and ink and tested it in my sketchbook until I got 5 different levels of gray that I liked. And I also got a plain one with just water to help with blending. And this is how I'm going to do ink wash while on the go. I already know it works because I like to take my sketchbook and my pencil case whenever I go to the drag show every month to watch my fiance perform, and sometimes I like to doodle, and I've done this before. It works very well. I also have a Copic marker to if I ever want to fill in really large areas with black. So I did this last year and the year before as well. It's just a good way to fill in large black areas, and I didn't want to kill my Pentel brush pen doing that, so I did this. And last year when I did Inktober, I did gold elements, which I really enjoyed, and I knew I'd wanted to do that again, but my fine tags aren't really portable, so I got these. I also got the silver because I may want to change it up and do silver accents as well. I haven't decided yet. But this is the Pilot Gold marker, paint marker in extra fine, and the silver, I got the 2-pack. I also bought another of the gold. So I have, oh, that's the empty one. I have 2 of these because I wasn't sure if it would run out. A artist I follow on Instagram did a series of evolution drawings using black, and this is the gold accent. I can't pronounce the name off the top of my head, but I will link her Instagram in the description below. And I really liked the effect of the gold ink, so it should get me the effect that I want, but I can also take it with me to work, which is what I needed. So yeah, so that's everything in here, aside from, you know, more Pentel brush pen refills, which I have 3 of, so that should get me through the entire month. If not, then I'll just have to get more, I guess. And then if I happen to have a day off of work and I decide I want to work at home and I don't want to get into my pencil case, what I'm going to use at home is my P.H. Martin's Black Star Matte and my Sumi ink, which I did a comic page with. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. Or at least you've seen close-ups of it. And I really like how they work together. I ink it with this, and then I do ink wash with this, and then I have my Fine Tex for those gold and silver elements. So this is what I'll use at home, but most likely I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff at work. So I needed this. But yeah, so I guess that does it for this week's video. I'm hopeful that I'll actually be able to finish. Like I said, with work and YouTube and everything else, it's kind of hard to say for sure if I'll actually be able to finish it this year, but Inktober is one of my favorite art challenges. Ink is one of my favorite mediums, and I knew that if I didn't at least make an attempt, I would feel really bummed out and left out by not doing it. So I decided to find a way, or at least try to find a way that would make it possible to do. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to burn myself out. If I start getting too tired, I will stop. I'm smart enough to know to do that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about the prompts, and hopefully I'll be able to do it. So yeah, that does it for this week's video. Let me know if you guys are doing Inktober as well and what your plans are, and if you're like me and you have obligations that make it hard to do a lot of art, how do you figure out how to make time for that without losing sleep? Because if most answers is like staying up and pulling all-nighters, seriously, don't do that. I did that in college. It's not good for you. Don't do that. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!